The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 761. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She is the founder and editor-in-chief of Living Hyphen, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Justine Abigail Yu. Justine, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more by yourself to the listeners.
Hi, Sheena. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Like you mentioned, I am the founder and editor-in-chief of Living Hyphen, which is an intimate new journal that explores the experiences of what we've been calling hyphenated Canadians. So that's anyone who might call Canada home, but who have roots in different, often faraway places. And the magazine really explores what it means to live in between cultures. And I've been doing this for over a year now. It's my passion project. When I'm not doing Living Hyphen, I'm actually working also as a freelance communications and marketing strategist for the social impact space with various nonprofit organizations, both in Canada and the United States.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Justine, what's your cultural background?
So I am Filipina Canadian. I was born in Manila, Philippines. I moved here to Canada when I was just 4 years old.
Thanks for sharing that. And what'd be your favorite self-confidence quote?
So I was thinking about this the other day, and there are so many great ones, but one that resonates the most with me and one that I actually keep on my fridge. It's not so much a quote as it is a poem by Rupi Kaur. So the poem goes like this. It was when I stopped searching for home within others and lifted the foundations of home within myself. I found there were no roots more intimate than those between a mind and body that have decided to be whole.
Thanks for sharing that great poem. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
For me, self-confidence is just knowing your worth and your value and not being afraid to speak that out loud to all of those around you.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. And, I think one of the hardest things as women, especially Asian women, is realizing their worth and value, just how Asian women are brought up in the world and how society views us. We have to realize we have a lot of value and worth that we can share to the world. And if we don't speak that out, no one's going to know. So I'm glad you're able to share that great definition. And Justine, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
I think it is actually... You speak a lot of truth in what you said. I think there was a lot of playing small. As an Asian woman, we are portrayed in media, in just everywhere around us, in institutions and influences all around us, that we are quiet and modest and humble people, which we are, but I'm also a very loud personality, and I'm very out there, and I'm often not very quiet, and I'm not a small personality at all. And so before coming into my own voice, there was a lot of trying to fit into those boxes that society has tried to put us into. And I've always been uncomfortable playing that role.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think that's something a lot of women, especially Asian women, can relate, being fit into that box or bubble or whatever it is, right? And we just feel like we're trapped in our own body, in our own, that box, not realizing we have so much to offer. And what was that point in your life when you can realize, you are more than what people might say or what society thinks? What was that aha moment that gave you that confidence?
Sheena, I've been thinking about this, and I feel like I don't know if there's one single aha moment for me. I think it has been a series of little sparks that have led to who I am now and how comfortable I am in my own voice. But one of the biggest things for me, it's not a single moment, but again, like a process for me. I'm a writer. You can tell that because I've created Living Hyphen, this magazine of a collection of different works. I'm a writer, and I've used my online platforms, whether that's Instagram, whether that's a blog, whether that's through my freelance writing. I've used my writing as a way to express myself, my opinions, my thoughts, who I am. And through that writing, throughout the years, I think that has been integral to finding that self-confidence and finding my voice. And as I push my writing out there and people are finding it, people are reading it, people are connecting to it, I'm realizing that there is value in what I have to say, that there is a strength in my voice and in my writing. And through that, that has been really the most essential piece in finding my self-confidence and finding who I am.
Thanks for sharing that. And, makes such a huge difference when you can go out there and, find a platform that you can use to spread your voice, to speak your truth. And it can be anything: social media, podcasts, writing, acting, whatever feels comfortable for you. And, makes a big difference when you just share it out there, right? You don't know what's going to happen, anything's possible, but here you are expressing yourself through your writing, and it's opened so many doors for you. And because of that realization, what's your life been like now?
I mean, it has been like you said, it has opened up so many doors for me. It's allowed me to be so much more comfortable in what I have to say and not being afraid to share that with other people and not being afraid to express who I really am, not playing small in the way that I had said that I might have in the past. And actually, if I may, I was actually thinking more about that aha moment. And one of the pieces that I really wanted to share today was actually around advocating for yourself. Through my writing, I have been advocating for my opinion. I've been advocating for my beliefs and things like that. And I think it's really important for women, Asian or not, whoever really, to I always say, be your own hype woman and advocate for yourself. There was one particular moment that I wanted to share where, through Living Hyphen, I was given the opportunity to do a book signing in one of the bookstores that we were being featured in. And I was really nervous to see who would come out, and I was nervous to see how much promotions the bookstore had done for it, how many, just if the word was getting out there. And so I decided to take matters into my own hands and do that marketing for myself to make sure that people would show up. And, I would post on social, I would share it through our newsletter, I would let anyone and everybody know that we at Living Hyphen were having a book signing. And when we got there, so many of the people who showed up had actually come through those channels that I had created, and who had heard about us through our social, through our newsletter, through, our networks. And that was a really powerful moment for me in realizing that I am the best advocate for myself, and if I want to get something done, of course, we have this huge community to rely on and who, support us. But it's really important for me to say what I need, to give an ask and to share that ask, and people will show up. And so that for me has been really, really integral, and something that I would like to share with your listeners, that you should be out there hyping yourself up and not being afraid to do so, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And even if they are, nobody's going to do it as good as you can. Speak for yourself.
Thanks for sharing that great story. And, it's so true, right? I know being a woman, I know there's like this stigma where, it doesn't look good when a woman promotes herself because it looks needy or it looks shameful. But if you have something that's great out there that can help someone out, then I don't see why would it be bad to promote yourself?
Exactly. And I'll be honest, every time I do this, every time I post something on social that we're doing or that I'm doing, I was speaking at this event, or, I'm promoting this, I feel uncomfortable every time. There's a tinge, there's like a moment of, oh God, I feel like I'm annoying, or people are looking at me like needy or desperate for attention or something like that. But again, I feel like that just plays back into how we've been raised as women in this society, where we should be quiet, where we should not show off our accomplishments, but we should. We're doing really incredible things. The women on your podcast are doing amazing things that we should be sharing. And And what I love about what you're doing is that you're amplifying the voices of other women who are doing really incredible work.
Oh, thanks. And, I really appreciate also what you're doing. And yeah, I mean, as women, like, we should be proud of the work that we share, right? Because, it could help someone out there. And at the same time, it shows other women what's possible for themselves. Like, having that relatability factor is huge. So, I really like that you mentioned be your own hype woman because, sometimes we are alone in this journey and we have to be our own number one supporter, cheerleader, and we have to keep pushing ourselves to do whatever it is we want to do. So I think that was great that you mentioned that. And, if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do and check out some of your work, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Absolutely. You can follow me personally on Instagram at Justine Abigail, or you can follow Living Hyphen's work at Living Hyphen on all socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or online at www.livinghyphen.ca.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Justine, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Justine's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I really just want to thank Justine today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Justine.
Thanks, Sheena.
Not a problem. It was really great having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Tao of Self-Confidence. Get your free self-talk tape for building self-confidence by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.